everyone. Welcome to our channel, The Sun City Stitchers. I'm Carlene.
And I'm Marlene, and this is Flosstube episode number 27. And we're doing it from the Sacramento Mountains at Camp Stitchmore.
So we are very excited. We have a number of things to share with you guys today. We're going to be giving you a little bit a tour in photos of the grounds. And the facilities here. And then we're going to be sharing our projects that we've gotten here at camp.
Yes, yay.
Yes, we're going to have a special visit with one of our fellow campers. And
an exclusive interview with Nancy Wahler from Faithwurks Designs.
Nancy is the one who puts this camp on for us. This is our 30th anniversary, so it is a big deal.
Yes.
Marlene and I have not come to all 30 years.
We've gone to several.
We've gone to, I would say more than 20.
Oh, yeah. I think so too.
And we were just talking. Did we have a favorite memory? So one of my most favorite memories was one of the years when Marlene and I came, but we were also joined by a friend, Laura, and one of our sisters, Hillis, also came. And when we got up here, the weather turned very cold and it snowed, and then the power went out. And so it was completely dark in our area.
Because at that time we stayed they have a dorm.
Yes.
So we actually stayed in the dorm.
Ayers
at that time. Ayers. It was called Ayers.
And so we all had young eyes back then. So the four of us went and sat in the car and
turned the heat on so we were nice and warm. Turned the car on so we had the dome light and young eyes. So we sat there and cross-stitched, and then pretty soon the power came back on, so then we went back inside.
That was so funny. It was funny. It was cold, but it was fun. That's a good memory for me. It was very fun. So many good memories.
And then for a while she didn't do it up here in the mountains. She actually did it at the Radisson Hotel in El Paso. And so for a few years we did camp there. And one of my favorite memories doing it at the hotel was a year when we got all the camp projects, but then we also got the fleece blankets that we made and tied.
Yeah, they were like kits that you got the two pieces of fleece and
and we also got the little poncho. You should have brought yours.
I think that was another year.
No, I think it was the same year we did the ponchos because we spent a lot of time, and then we got the blankets. I
don't remember.
Anyway. But we got those, and so we would work on our projects in the classroom, and then when we'd go back to our room, then we'd work on making the blankets or the ponchos or whatever, and tie those. So that was really fun.
We were really busy.
Really fun, yes.
But by far the most popular is when we come up to the mountains.
Yes, everybody likes that.
It's just so wonderful.
Yes.
So right now where we are is in the Forest Lodge. And we're in the lobby of the Forest Lodge. So this building is where all of the lodging is. So our rooms are all here where we stay for, sleeping and that kind of thing. And then the lobby was the location where we had registration and late night stitching because the classroom closes at 9. So anybody who wants to stitch late can come down here. And then we also have a display, and we'll do a little gallery walk here in a little bit.
A brag table.
Our brag table. So people brought their finished items that they could share with all of us. So what we're going to do right now is just show you a few pictures. You're going to see some pictures of the lodge. Yes. We're going to show you a picture of the lodge and then of people registering. So let's show you just a couple pictures. just so you have an idea of where we are. And then we're going to go ahead and share, when we registered, we got our little bag, registration bag came. We got the agenda, of course, and then we got our very first project, which was a little scissor fob. And so we're going to show you that. This is Marlene's. So we put our initial, and then if you want to show them the back, and the back is #30. The symbol for a 30th anniversary is pearl, and this pearl is actually a pearl from Nancy's mother. And I have mine done too. I worked on finishing yesterday, so I finished these yesterday afternoon. Our fabulous finisher Terry is here, and she does. And she did a little class and showed us how to do the finishing. So that was our very first project, and we'll show you some of the other things later.
Yeah.
And then we also got a camp memento, and it's from my big toe, and it is a little, what's it called, Marlene?
Needle.
Well, this is a
a
thread hopper, so that you can find your space.
And the stitch.
And then this is a, you know, yes, you can use it to count your stitches, or you can use it to like mark your spot.
Yeah.
A marker.
Yes.
Whatever it's called. Oh my gosh.
A mark.
So these are, you can see these up close. And so they're just beautiful. These are done by my big toe, and they were done specially. Marking pins. Thank you, Marlene. A marking pin. And so these were made specially for Nancy for camp. So these are exclusive camp mementos for those of us who were here. And then this is the needle thread hopper. We have used these already, even though mine are still in the package. I've used mine. This is to help you, if you have a long row of stitches, it's to help you count. So you would like count 10 and then mark your spot, and then take this needle and count 10 more and mark, and that way you don't lose your spot. So next, we're going to give you a tour of the grounds. So we'll share some photos of that. This is our brag table, and I'm going to just scan down so you can see how far it goes.
And we'll give you more.
Some of us of the stitchers have brought items to share with all of us so that we can celebrate finishes. So we have a basket full of needle rolls.
Several just Nan.
This one was a box. This was one that the stitcher said it was a class that she took with Nancy when she owned her shop at Nancy of Faithwurks. The one back with all of the hearts. Marlene, do you remember the designer for that?
I think it's Drawn Thread.
Drawn Thread. This is a Lizzie Kate with the little witch.
What's her name? Betty.
Hilda Broomstick or Betty Broomstick.
Betty Broomstick.
This is done by one of the stitchers. This is the Irish dancer. Marlene, do you want to point to that right here? This is, oh, and will you notice the pretty little bracelet that Marlene has on? One of our stitchers made one for all of us with the pearls and the sparkly, so it's so pretty. This is the Irish dancer that Marlene and I have been talking about wanting to do next year in our Year of the Ladies. And this stitcher has very generously said we can use her pattern because it is no longer in print. The Stitch Every Days, those are hands-on design, Marlene? Is that what those are?
I think
the
so.
Stitch Every Day and Fish Every Day? That one was really cute. The stitcher had done the first one, Stitch Every Day, but then her husband likes to fish. So she did one for him and changed the colors and the wording. It just turned out so cute. This beautiful purple project. You guys have seen many of these.
These are ours.
These are ours, so I'm just gonna cruise by quickly. This is my Rosewood Manor. That's how that one turned out. I think I shared that. Cats on a Pumpkin. Did I share that when it was finished?
You shared it when it was finished. I think you shared it when you still thought you were going to do the stars and the.
Oh yes,
little
and there
crescent
wasn't
moon.
room by the time I got my bow on there.
Mm-hmm.
This is just lovely. Look at all of that detail.
Oh my gosh.
This is done on, I believe, 40 count. I don't know the colors.
This is by Lori.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Isn't that just
Yes,
stunning?
that's really pretty.
Look at the detail in that. So pretty. A beautiful Quaker. Some really cute little samplers. It's a boy. Isn't that cute? And then we have these. There's the Easter shadow box. Somebody's done two, and I haven't even got my first one done. Lots of little smalls. These are Faithwurks Designs. Almost all of these.
Yeah, these little mini
Just
easels.
the little mini easels are all Faithwurks Designs. So cute. Marlene, will you grab the little picture frame one, the little black cat?
Mhm.
I wanted just to show this. This was a finishing idea. And turn it around. It is a picture frame. Look how cool that is. And then they just mounted their stitched piece.
And the front, and it looks like they use little green beads from
Little-
like a
Yes,
little
like
necklace.
Yes, like the Mardi Gras beads or something. Anyway, I wanted to show that because that was so cute.
Really cute finish.
So we have just all kinds of very, very beautiful designs. So we wanted just to give you a glimpse of our gallery walk that people shared, all their treasures of their work. We're up in our classroom space now. But before we start telling you about that, we're going to begin with just talking a little bit about the grounds. And so we're going to show you some photos. The first photo that you're going to see is the grassy area that's kind of right in front of Forest Lodge. And every
It kind
afternoon.
of separates, that grass area kind of separates the lodge area, and then the classroom space is kind of up a slope, a hill.
You'll
and then
see it in the background.
Yeah, and then the classroom space and the cafeteria is up on that kind of next level.
Yes. So, but every afternoon, late afternoon, we have a whole herd of deer that come and graze there. And so you're going to see a picture of that, and then the classroom space, the building where the classroom is located is up on the hill. And then the cafeteria is just down from that. And we'll show you a couple of pictures then also of the cafeteria. And so let's just take a minute and do that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed those pictures, just a little bit about the area and where we are. And so now we're in the classroom space. I'm going to show you just a couple of pictures I snapped this morning while everybody was busy working, so you can kind of see the area. We have really good lighting, lots of space. And then, as I mentioned earlier, in back of us is the boutique, and we'll give you a little bit more up close tour of that shortly. But we're going to go ahead and start by sharing our projects that we've gotten so far since we've been here. So yesterday when we arrived in the classroom, all of the places had these very beautiful baskets, and they were all filled with this paper. And we're like, what are we gonna do? We all got hungry for buttered popcorn because that's what it looked like. So we had these. But this year, in keeping with the pearl theme, we've done smalls that have pearls on them. And so we're filling our basket with smalls as the weekend goes on. So you've already seen the first project, which was our scissor fob. And then the next project was a basket liner. And so Marlene and I have both finished ours. So Marlene, if you want to show them. Like this, it's still upside down. Just turn it around. This is the basket liner. It says she works willingly with her hands, and then it's just a running stitch around here. And so this is the model. So what we have left to do then is just to fringe the edges. So Marlene and I both have done that, and we have to add our little mother of pearl heart down in the corner. So that was the basket liner. And so it just lays in the basket like this. And then that was the second project. And then the third project was the little needle book. And so this is the model, and then it says Camp Stitchmore. And so this is the place for us to keep our little thread hoppers and our marking pins. So that's our little needle book. And Marlene and I have both gotten started on that. That's what Marlene has done. And then this is mine. I'm sorry, I have dangling threads. This is what I'm working on right now. I've started, it's a nun stitch that goes all the way around, which is what you can use like as a hem so that it doesn't unravel. So that's the next small. This was Nancy's model of the little scissor fob. And again, and then I should mention, again, these pearls were from her mother's collection. And so we each got a pearl to put on ours also from one of her mother's necklaces. So it's just wonderful. And then yesterday afternoon, we got project number 4, which is her little needle roll. Pin roller, needle roll.
So it says May on this side, and then when you turn it around, it says boom on the other side.
And this is the one, one of the projects that Marlene and I have in our stash to do was one that says November. So this is going to be a monthly series. So that was our needle roll or pin roll. Then last night, I had opted to do a make and take. And so we got all the supplies, and our fabulous finisher, Terry, taught us all how to make these. It was just simple little mat board discs that we did a gathering stitch on the fabric and gathered, and then stitched the 2 pieces together, and then used our pins to pin the rickrack. And she shared a really neat trick. She said, you know how you want your pins to match your project, that you can use markers or fingernail polish and make them the color you want them. So isn't that cool? So then they can exactly coordinate with your fabric or your project. And she also said you could drop them in like a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and that I think would give them more of an antique look. So anyway, that was really cool. So that was our little pinwheel. And then this morning we got project number 5, and it is a little, a little pyramid. So it's a patriotic pyramid. I think this maybe is supposed to be a bow or something. I'm not sure. So it says July, and then pop goes the 4th. You're holding it crooked. There we go. And then 1776, and the flag. So that is our little, that was
4th of
project.
July
Yes.
pyramid.
So
And this is
Stitcher's
another
pyramid.
monthly series, I believe. She's gonna
No,
be doing.
I don't think it's going to be
Oh,
monthly.
no, not monthly.
Not monthly, but it is
It's
going to be a
seasonal.
series. She's going to have
Yeah.
others, because
Okay.
last year we did the Stitcher's pyramid. And
So I think it's gonna be more seasonal,
so
maybe.
that's our little pyramid, Stitcher's
Yes.
pyramid. And then we have one more project that's still coming.
Yes.
Later this
We're supposed to get
afternoon,
it at
project
3:15,
number
I think.
6. So we've had a lot of fun doing our projects, visiting with the other Stitchers, and we're going to have a really quick little chat with a very special camper, and so we will introduce you to her here in just a minute. All right, so now we are here with a special guest. We are here with Miss Bobby Clayton, and she is one of the well, at least here in this group, she is the only camper who has come all 30 years. So we first want to show you, because when they first started camp, they made like a little name banner, and so every year they got something to add to their camp name banner. So because Bobby's been here all 30 years, hers goes on and on, but there was a button or something that went with the theme of every camp, and Bobby has kept up with it.
Bobby, how did you decide what you wanted to add, or did Nancy give you the things?
Nancy, I got them from Nancy.
Okay.
Because it signified each year.
Okay.
There's our 20th year, right here.
Look, here's 20, you're 20.
So you can just see what our theme was.
Every
Each
year what the
year.
theme was. Isn't that just so cute? 20 was snowflake, 21 last year was fall, forest animals, and then this year, grab the end, there we go. And then there is 30
Wow.
for this year with
30.
pearls.
And it's the pearl, year of the
So-
pearls.
So, Bobby, you've known Nancy a long time, and we know you came when she had the shop. So tell us, how did you know Nancy? Did you?
We met playing bunco. She was substituting. So I've probably known her close to 40 years. Yeah, and she had mentioned she wanted to open a cross-stitch shop. Yes, that would be wonderful.
So you already cross-stitched before you met her?
I did. I took a class, when I lived in Midland, I took a needlepoint class. And the very last class was cross-stitch.
Oh,
And I fell in love. I never did needlepoint again.
and then now, here we go.
And then, when she was opening the shop, I was with her. I saw her go through everything that you have to go through opening a shop. Not easy.
Right.
And Tom was with her. Her husband was with her, and he was adding a lot to it. It was really fun. It was neat.
Her
so I
shop
saw it
was
from
so
the ground up.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and you come every year to camp.
Yes.
So for 30 years. So what is it that keeps bringing you back? What's your favorite part?
The camaraderie. I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry, don't cry. Then we'll all cry.
Really?
I know. And Bobby lived here in El Paso.
Yes.
And then she was a nurse.
Yes.
And then retired and moved to Grapevine. But and how long ago was that you moved?
Probably about 12 years, maybe. I'm
So
not sure.
she still comes back every year and
Every
helps
year.
with camp every single year.
She
So
comes back early, like
Yes.
this year you got here on October
5th.
5th,
No,
and then
the 15th.
The 15th.
Yes.
And then she's there to help Nancy kit up stuff and
Right.
get everything ready.
So yes.
Getting the kids ready is a bear. It just takes so long. So it's wonderful to have help. And then
Yeah.
we had somebody else come in and help also. She comes every year. Her name is Terry. And
She's the fabulous finisher.
Oh,
yes.
Carrie, the fabulous
unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable. But it's the women, the camaraderie. We pick up where we left off the year before.
Right. You haven't seen them for a year, but it's like you've never been a part.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly true.
It's wonderful.
So fun. So fun. Do you have a favorite memory?
Oh gosh. A couple years ago, we did s'mores.
Oh, that's right. We had a campfire.
We had a campfire. I froze my buns off. It was so cold. Because I don't, and below 80 and I'm freezing. But we were all bundled up. And somebody had brought those giant marshmallows. Oh, we were wearing marshmallows. It was
And Nancy's
crazy.
got stuck and wouldn't come off. She was trying to shake it off. Oh, that was fun.
That was
a fun. That was a
good
fun
memory.
That was one of many.
Yeah,
We just
so many.
crazy little things that have happened. Yes,
Funny,
just
funny things that
yes,
you remember.
yes. I mean, laughing so hard at just stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just
That's what makes it so
That's what
fun.
makes it so fun.
we know so many people, and one little thing will set us off, and we're in gales of laughter.
Bobby, thank you for visiting with us
welcome.
and being part of our
Thank
our
you.
little Flosstube this week.
Thank
So,
you. Appreciate it. Thank
This
you.
is fun. We're so
My
glad.
my two girls.
I know,
I
it's
love you all
wonderful.
so much. And I don't know if you noticed, wearing a Camp
Oh, this
Stitchmore
was from a
shirt.
few years ago.
Yes.
This was from, well, 2002, so that was the 10th anniversary. Of
And that's
that.
when Lizzie Kate came.
Lizzie Kate was here. She was a special
Yes.
guest. That's right.
Uh-huh.
So
That's our.
yes.
So
We've
Cool.
had, and you know what we didn't show was our hooded sweatshirts. This year we got
Oh,
sweatshirts
yeah.
that say the
I think I was
30th year.
wearing
You
mine.
might have been. Anyway, we'll have to look at
Yes.
it. So anyway, all right. Stay tuned for our exclusive interview with the designer of Faithwurks. All right, your tour of our boutique. These are the floss pyramids with all kinds of floss. We also have a boutique of Treenway silks, a trunk show of Treenway silks. They're just such beautiful colors. These pretty fall colors. Marlene says she likes these colors down here. Very bright. Very bright. And then there's some more down here. Then we have two tables of Zyger materials, some different cloth, a lot of Ada cloth or big count cloth, some books with project ideas, and another table here, again with patterns, material, a wall hanging that Marlene is vannaing.
Where's that?
Right there.
Gingerbread
This is like the gingerbread delight.
It's
That would
something
be
you could put on that.
on the banner. And then, I hope I don't make you all dizzy. Then Marlene, if you want to do a vanna for some of these, we have the 12 Days of Christmas. This is Liz Matthews.
Hello by Liz Matthews.
Hello by Liz Matthews. So this is the third day of Christmas, but we have up through day 7. And I'm just gonna walk around. I love the colors. Do you want to hold up the wildflowers one, Marlene? I just love the colors in that one.
That's really
It looks really pretty on light and on dark fabric. Very pretty. So I'm gonna just pan around. You'll notice decorations. We'll talk about some of those later.
Some really cute Halloween projects too. Like
Yes, this one is really
bright.
cute.
That's a really cute one.
2 pumpkins bright.
Really
This
cute
is Hello,
design.
this Matthew. She just has so many designs.
A lot of different.
And then we have a My Big Toe spinner here. My Big Toe. The My Big Toe doodads. Then we have floss drops, marking pins, chatelaines, needle minders. We got, Marlene and I each got one of these because it says 30. Where those are specially made for Nancy. Thread hoppers, trays of buttons, some floss,
Finishing fabric.
decorating again, some decorations, some little doodads. If you'll remember, Marlene and I showed this topper on a box. Nancy headed design. She's got a couple of little kitties left. Fall is my favorite, it says. This was a design Nancy did, and it was in a magazine several years ago. Then we have a trunk show from the Heart trunk show. And these are just beautiful. She has the monthly Quakers. So we have all of those, and they are so pretty. Marlene is going to get this one. It's not one of the monthly ones. It's the Halloween. And I wanted this Christmas one. I heard the bells. They are just beautiful. So we have a large selection, and then here are all our patterns. So we have been shopping to our heart's content this weekend. Then this is from Annie B's, a trunk show from Annie B's. So very cute. Aren't those little barns just adorable?
Those are really cute, the bitty barns.
And then this is a really cute finishing idea. It's like barn wood, and then the stitched piece is mounted on a piece of mat board, and then the bows are added. So I thought that was a really cute finishing idea. Isn't that darling? And then there were 2 other framed pieces that are just on easels. Isn't this one gorgeous? The home. I really love the colors. Marlene, show them the 2 Oh, I know. They're up here. Let me do these. This one is Sunflower Row. I'm gonna get that pattern. And Marlene is getting this one, Sunshine. It has some specialty stitches. Really pretty. And then we go down here, and now we start a trunk show with some of Sue Hillis's designs. And we're waiting for her charts to arrive. They were coming from some another distributor.
Yeah, another shop.
She has her stitch boxes. This is her Stitcher's stitch box. And a large framed piece. Some little smalls. And then her new series, the Hoop-de-Doos, are here. So these are really darling. They're all finished on a hoop. The hoop is wrapped fabric. You wrap fabric around the hoop, just a strip fabric around the hoop, and then your stitched piece gets mounted. And then the back, she has just mat board. You could pretty it up if you wanted to cover the mat board with fabric. But it's an easy finish. Then she ties a bow on the top just to, pretty it up. Then of course this is the collaboration piece with her and Nancy. We're not going to do anything about the Faithwurks trunk show because that is a little bit later. So I'm going to just do an app. Marlene,
We
you
have
wanna
more
talk.
of
Yes,
Hillis.
we have some other patterns here. Here. And then we had a table full of fabric, but as you can see, we've all been busy buying fabric.
Very busy shopping.
And then here in back of me is some more of Hillis Designs. She sent a very large trunk show. And so a couple more stitch boxes, the Study in Blue, and also a Christmas one. I have this pattern. It's on my to-do someday list. And then this one is really pretty.
I like that one.
Yeah. So these are really cute. And then if we just continue walking here, we have some more charts. These are by Marlene. Do you want to pull out a couple? Do one of the sweater weather, or we have some long dog samplers, some tempting tangles.
Where are those?
Yeah, right there. Yes. And then this is Cherry Hill Stitchery. Sweaters, please. Really cute fall. And we have, Tempting Tangles I mentioned already. And then we have some by Erin Elizabeth, which are really cute. Marlene, show them the one that you said was cactus. Marlene was the next one up. This one says Hello Fall. Okay, now show them the other one with the pumpkins. Up a little, that one. Marlene looked at this one last night and she goes, oh, it's fall, but it has cactus on it. But it's leaves. It's leaves. So we had to laugh. That was funny. And then we also have a trunk show with Shannon Christine. Hers are always so pretty. I really love the fall one, this fall one. I think I've seen a couple people doing that. And then also JBW Designs. And we have some little leaflets as well as the ornament, book 4, and book 2 and book 4. And you'll notice he looks familiar, right? I had done him. That was one of Nancy's designs. So that is just a little tour of the boutique. So I'm gonna just stand right. I'm gonna just scan it so that you can see we have such a nice large space to wander around and shop. Just really wonderful.
And it's nice that it's in the same space as the classroom because then you
Yes.
can take a little break from
You
stitching
take
and
a
come
break from
shop and-
stitching, come shop.
So yeah, so
Look
that works
around.
out so nice.
Marlene and I picked out fabric yesterday.
Yeah.
All right, so that is just a little tour of our boutique. All right, everybody, we're so very excited right now to introduce Nancy Waller of Faithwurks.
Hello.
And she is joining us as we've been talking today in our Flosstube all about our Camp Stitchmore. We thought it was a perfect time to have Nancy come and share a little bit about herself and let all of you meet her.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here with you girls. My two favorite people in the world.
So happy that we're up here.
It's been a wonderful weekend.
It has been. It's been really
So
good.
Nancy, just tell us, share with our viewers a little bit about your background. Because we know you weren't always a cross-stitch
I was not
designer.
born a cross-stitcher. I didn't have a shop right at the beginning. I actually was a marketing manager for Southwestern Bell for 22 years. But towards the end of that, I decided that I wanted to have a cross-stitch shop. And then that was my goal. I worked toward that goal. And then they offered the management team at that time early retirement. And I was young. I can't remember how young I was because it was a long time ago. But anyway,
it was a sweetheart deal. They added 20 years here and there, so I left, and I was going to open the shop in January of the year I was going to retire, which was 1992, which you guys were probably 3 years old then. Anyway, and my sister Libby she's just amazing, and the girls know her very well. But we have a real special bond, and she agreed to come work for me at my shop, and it was near our houses and everything. But I was still working for another 9 months, and at that time we had to dress corporately at work. You know, everybody wore hose and dresses, no pants and things like that back in the olden days. So I had this vision. I made my sister wear pantyhose and a skirt.
I remember that.
I never heard that.
Oh, she went along, but later on she says, you know, this really isn't my dream, it's yours. But I got the picture. When I retired, I didn't want to wear pantyhose and skirts anymore, so I did.
I remember coming to the shop and it being such a big deal that you were going to relax that little rule that you had.
Yes.
That was fun.
Thank you, Lord. We did. And so the shop became an extension of my family, really. I've always believed in customer service, giving good customer service, and making people feel at home. Yeah.
And your shop was like that.
It was.
Yes, it was always very
And you've
welcoming.
always-
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it just continues. So.
Yes, that's it.
So 30 years ago, you decided you were going to do camp. So what was that? How was that inspiration? How did you decide
Actually,
on that?
there was an article in Just Cross Stitch about Lindy Legner's Silver Needle, their camp.
Oh.
And I think it was Camp Wanaso, I'm not sure. But I read that and I thought, wow, that's something I think would be fun to do. And I actually flew, when I was opening the shop, I flew out and talked with Lindy about the ins and outs of getting a business started. So it was kind of cool. And the first year wouldn't have worked because I had just retired. But so I had a whole year to plan for our very first one in 1993. And there were 20 of us. Everything went in the back of my Jeep. And that was it. And unfortunately I made my sister stay home in case we had a customer. She didn't go
get
to the
come
first
to
camp. Bless her heart.
So Bobby, we just talked to Bobby and visited with Bobby. She truly is the only one, because even Libby didn't get to go to all
No, bless her heart.
And now, since Libby and her husband have retired and they've moved to family, so she does not get to come.
No.
We missed her.
She did Zoom today, and
Yes,
that was
she
really
Zoomed
good.
in. That was fun because
We
we
had
got
a
to
good
visit
time.
her,
Yes.
but not quite the same as
No,
having her here in
no.
person. So Nancy, tell us what goes into getting ready for camp. I know you do
The planning and
lots and lots.
Oh my
of work.
goodness. Well, I usually have my group, we have, when we're all in the same vehicle, it was much easier, or even if we were in two, we had walkie-talkies that we talked back and forth before cell phones. But we germinated an idea on the mountain down, what am I trying to say, on the trip home down the mountain. So we're leaving camp, and my corporate experience with my group, we'd always have experience meetings. So I'd ask them, what would we do differently next year? What would we never do again? And what would we like to try something new? And my goal always is to teach people another skill. And that's always been what I want to do, and have fun, of course.
And that's I think really unique for camp, because a lot of places that you might go to a stitch retreat, but it's not a learning experience.
Right.
And here we come and we learn a finishing technique.
Yes.
Or we learn a new, how to make twisted cord. I think we learned that at camp, and it's just something that we can take with us to help us with our stitching.
It's always empowering to me to empower other people, and it was a learning process. My mom didn't teach me how to stitch. I taught myself, and then I went to market and learned more and more about decorative stitches and whatnot. So it's been fun. I mean, I'm always learning new things.
So what You said your mom didn't teach you to stitch. What made you want to learn to be a cross stitcher?
Golly, I guess I probably visited some shops. I started picking up magazines and thought, well, I could do this. And I remember teaching myself how to stitch on linen on a plane, of all things, and trying to count threads. And
I guess a plane is better than a car.
well, it truly is, yes. Although I did bead on a plane once. That was interesting.
No, were there bead escapes?
Actually,
That
I was
are
really
still-
good. I had a tacky bob at that
Oh,
time.
that was perfect.
I love gadgets too, and that was another thing Libby was really good at, was
She
gadgets.
loved gadgets, and she was very good at making us all think we needed them.
Oh,
we
yes.
couldn't live without the latest gadget,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, why don't you share some of the past camp projects?
Oh, good. Okay, well, we didn't bring all 30 of them.
No.
And frankly, I can't remember every single one. The first camp, we did someone else's designs because at that point I wasn't quite into the designing aspect of it.
No, you were just a stitcher.
Yes, and
And a
a
shop
shop
owner.
owner, right. So the 20 of us did someone else, it was a Moss Creek design, a sampler. But one of the things that we did, I love Hobby Lobby, I do. And they haven't done this so much lately, but they had these wooden sign, I guess just embellishments. I mean, they had all the hangers and everything, but I love to envision what I could do with something that's not cross stitch. I mean, you've seen many things, and the girls have done a ton of that. But this was my Joyous Noel ornament, and it's in a big ornament, and we finished it on mat board and with twisted cord. So that was one.
It's really cute. You can see that better.
Really cute.
And it's just these,
That
and
is really cute.
that's some of these things that we've talked about. That watch for these things because you might have a piece that'll just fit, or a circle that could go on, or so. It's just a great idea of how to finish something.
Now, how about our Alfred?
wanna do?
Well, there were different seasons of my design career, I guess you'd say. One year I did a ton of needle rolls, so that was my nun stitch year. And then I decided I wanted to do these little stand-ups, which we called shelf sitters. And I have to be careful saying that, but it is a shelf sitter. This is Alfred, this stitching. He has a needle, but I think it's missing. But
He's lost his
He
needle.
had a real big gold needle, and he was sewing. That was his job. And
She used fun fibers
Yes.
here for his pom-pom.
And this is 7-count Claustern, so it was really fast. And I always like to introduce decorative, not only decorative stitches, but fun fibers, like Carlene said. So we had fun, and there were his little striped stockings, and there's more of those pom-poms. So this is Alfred. Yep.
He was a fun stitch.
This one,
very fun.
oh my goodness, this is one of my favorite because I never liked math in school, but you do count as a cross stitcher. But figuring how to do the finishing on my gingerbread house, I'm going to see if I can show you that.
See how the twisted cord goes all the way around, just
Yes.
like the frosting
Yes.
would.
So-
So cute.
It was a challenge for me, and I loved it because it's filled with foam core to make it nice and solid. And then I was challenged with the roof, how to make the fold and whatnot. So I really love this project.
It
And
turned out so cute.
It's so cute.
See,
Yes.
the roof was all stitched. And we used pearl cottons on this, didn't we?
yes, we
Nancy?
did. Yeah, that's another big count that we used, and that was quite fun.
And then I know you've had one that over the years has been, it was not a camp project,
No.
but it was a boutique
Yes,
option.
yes.
So why don't you show this one?
Okay, this is one of my favorite. My late husband's name was Tom, and of course at Thanksgiving you always think of Tom Turkey. So I designed this shelf sitter, and he has been like the best seller. I love him. And my friend Terry, who is our finisher, but sister friend really, extraordinaire, finished this guy. And he just is fantastic. Lots of fun fibers and buttons, and just a real sweet little guy. He comes out every Thanksgiving.
So cute.
Yes.
And he visited us at camp this year
Yes, he did.
to sit around.
He did.
Okay, now Nancy, I know that you have some projects. You have a boutique here, a booth all yours for
All my
Faithwurks
own,
Designs.
all my own.
So you know what? Let's take a little break
Okay.
and go over and have you share
Yeah.
what's in the boutique from Faithwurks.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're back in here at the Faithwurks section of our boutique. Remember, we skipped over it before. We told you something was coming later. So Nancy, why don't you share with us what you've got in the boutique?
I will be happy to. Okay. Well, here's welcome to Faithwurks Boutique. And that was one thing at camp. I loved the idea of having a boutique and sharing other designers' things. But this is my part. So one of the things that has been really fun, and you may have noticed from other designs that the girls have talked about, is my love of hedgehogs. So this is Hedgie's Christmas tree. And it's a snow globe that actually we split a Hobby Lobby snow globe into two. But our kit comes with the snow globe and some finishing things, and it's got snowballs and Just Another Button Company buttons. And we strung, the royal we, did the popcorn and cranberry garland on that. So that's Hedgie. And, you know, he's going to be around for a long time. This was in the Halloween magazine.
Yes,
has nothing to do with Christmas, but
when we shared it,
okay,
we
did.
The Halloween magazine.
Oh, nice.
This was one that we highlighted. So that's in the Just Cross Stitch Halloween Ornament magazine.
And they showed it as an ornament, but I designed it as an easel, petite easel.
I love him like that.
I love these little easels. They're a great option for showcasing. So that was that one, and then I also love sheep. So I would like you to meet Minnie Pearl, M-I-N-I Pearl, and she doesn't have a sales tag, but she has a string of pearls around her neck, and it says "Keep calm and wear pearls."
Oh, that is just adorable. Marlene and I both got one of those.
Yes. Okay. So that's Minnie Pearl.
And the snow globe.
And
We're
the
getting
snow
the snow
globe.
globe.
Yes.
Okay, and then I see these, and the Awesome Autumn pillow is going to look familiar.
Oh, yes.
That was a camp boutique item last year.
Yes. And so we used, again, the Treenway silk pack of the silks to stitch, and then look at that overdyed silk that Terry used for the ruching around there. It's just yummy. I love fall. I'm a fall baby, and I just love fall. So that was that one. And then they were actually the start of two different series, pin rolls and pin pillows.
And if you all remember just a few minutes ago, we showed you that one of our camp projects was the May pin roll.
Yes.
This was the first one.
Right. So I've got November. I kind of skipped around because I wanted different colors of fabric in my basket. And this is Give Thanks, again, a Stony Creek button. And this one will appear in something else I'm going to show you in a minute. But I wanted different shapes, not shapes so much, but the size of the rolls. So the May blooms is a little chunkier.
Shorter and chunkier.
Yes.
Very cute.
Yes, that's okay.
And then, why don't you show them of course, you all have seen the progress Marlene and I have made on Nancy's beautiful design for Just Cross Stitch, the Home Sweet Home. And then show them up close your darling little gingerbread
This is
house.
the home, quote unquote, sweet home that was in the ornament issued this last year, using some Just Another Button Company buttons and Mill Hill beads and an overdyed thread on opalescent fabric. And just finished again. I love these little easels, and that's what mine was designed for. So yes.
Okay.
And
And where is your birdhouse model? It was just here. I saw it.
Okay, well, it'll come to us. One of the new things in the boutique is a continuation of the pin pillow, and this is Candy Cane Christmas. So very simple. The only back stitching is around the cross-stitched candy canes, and finished really sweetly. And again, using Treenway hand-dyed silks for the ruching. And it's really yummy. Yes.
And
So-
I'm going to just do a real quick.
You can show them.
This-
So your model, this is not how it's finished, but you can frame it
Finished
flat.
as a cute little drum, but it could also be flat. So this is the birdhouse. This is really cute.
Here's the picture of the birdhouse. If that will
that's
help,
the drum.
the model is probably on somebody's table. They're looking
think
at it.
so.
So it's a petite drum. I was going to name it something in French, but I can't pronounce it. But it's a little tiny drum.
So that is also one of Nancy's new designs.
Yes, yes.
And then
Okay, so Autumn, our new little sheep, I have Mary, who's the Christmas sheep, and we have the shamrock. Erin, the shamrock sheep. I'm trying to think. Help me out. Summer, winter. I love sheep also, and this one says autumn leaves and pumpkins, please. And it's got a little acrylic pumpkin on the top with that sweet sheep. And this leads me into what's coming up.
yes,
If you'd
'cause
like
we're
to.
going to ask Nancy to share what she might have on her drawing board.
Yes, thank
Nancy,
you.
what overdye did you use on the top of that?
Oh, good point. And I may have had it with the shadow box. This is Karen Collections Wildflower, and it's a 1-ply. It's like a number 8 pearl cotton, but you can use it on cross stitching. And I actually made a large Smyrna cross, and it's rainforest, and it just has such pretty
beautiful
fall colors.
Yes, yes.
So I
beautiful
painted
fall
that
colors.
spool. Yes, ma'am. So I love spools and I love sheep.
And so now
here comes Autumn.
she's going to share with us a
I was
couple of
hoping
things.
to have this ready for camp, but it didn't quite make
But
it.
it's on the inspiration
It
board.
is. This is how the wildflower comes in a very ample skein. I want to say 30 yards.
Yeah.
But I love stitching with that. So that's an overdye. This is the large shadow box. And this gives you a clue of how I design. I am not like a brand new, up-to-date computer using designer. I like the graph paper and a big eraser and a pencil.
Big eraser.
Big eraser. But I kind of position the buttons where they want them to go. This is the leaves falling. There's a table here with a basket of apples and an apple pie, a scarecrow, and pumpkin patch. And then the one I was stitching on that I didn't quite finish is the farmhouse with the apple orchard, apples for sale.
That cute.
I tried to pick up
floss
the
is
blues
so
there.
pretty.
But look at this. Oh my goodness, this goes here. So this is my autumn alphabet and
so
some quilt designs.
Yes, quilt
And
squares. Perfect
then-
fall.
This one is the one where the other cornucopia will go again. Happy fall, y'all.
There.
And my phone
Where
has
did
the
the
center
phone run
square.
to?
So let me grab, you want to look at that? I'll grab that real quick.
Yes, yes. So here's her happy fall, y'all. I'll just show it up a little closer. And her alphabet.
Yes.
And then the center
This,
square.
this is a center square with sunflowers, pumpkins, and a pumpkin birdhouse.
So cute.
So that's what's coming. Oh, and there's something that you might be interested in, Carlene.
What would that be?
Oh my gosh, you would just.
What would that be?
You're dreaming of Christmas on this one.
Oh.
Another thing that was almost done, but not quite, is my Christmas lollipop spool. So the bottom of the spool, I'll give you a little hint, is going to be the Sleepy Town. It's called Christmas Eve.
I love the
Night Before
lollipop
Christmas.
series.
And on the lollipop will be a big moon and a Santa and a sleigh silhouette going across the moon.
Oh, so it'll be like the night before Christmas.
It'll
What
be
am I
ready for
stepping
next
into?
Christmas.
Yay! Okay, for sure.
Yes.
We'll get it stitched.
Maybe this Christmas, Carly.
We'll see.
Because
Okay,
I
I'll
know-
keep my fingers crossed.
Yes, that's true. I have to do an AC after camp.
Okay, after camp, yes. Well, I hope you all enjoyed our chat with Nancy. And we are going to just do our closing here. And so Nancy, thank you so much
Thank you so much for inviting
for
me and
30
for being
years
at camp.
of wonderful camps.
And you guys have been an awesome help with me at camp. I really
Oh,
appreciate
well,
it.
we enjoy it.
Yay,
We love
thank
it.
you. Y'all come back and see me and come to camp, okay?
And I know I will put information in the contact box, you all, for anything. If you are interested in getting something, purchasing snow globe kits or whatever, I'll get that contact information so that you can get in touch with Miss Nancy.
Yes.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So I hope all of you have enjoyed our little sharing of camp experience. This is really something that we look forward to every year.
Yes.
We start planning, we start putting stuff aside that we're gonna pack, that we're gonna bring up with us. It was just the two of us, but we had Marlene's little Jeep packed, full.
Yes.
And so it's just such a wonderful weekend. It's so fun to get together with other people who enjoy stitching like we do and get the addiction of stitching. So anyway, I'll put information in the box down below, the information box, the description box, if you want to get in touch with Nancy from Faithwurks. If there's anything you want, I know she'd be happy to ship to you. Or reach out to Marlene or I. We can help you if there's anything. I don't know which of the class projects she will make available, but anything from her boutique would be available. So I'll put that information in the description box. And we just finished our wonderful dinner tonight. Nancy had special ordered that they make steaks for us in the cafeteria, and we had cake for the 30th anniversary. We did get, we'll have to show it to you next week. We did get our project number 6.
Number 6 and the
mystery project. And I just found out that tonight, Terry, the fabulous finisher Terry, is going to do a class to show us how to make buttons.
Yes.
So
that's really cool because we wanted to put buttons on our
put
little
on
ABC
sampler houses. So I'm going to learn how to make buttons, and we'll share that with you guys later. Anyway, we hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And remember that a day without laughter is like a day without sunshine.
So wherever you are, bring your own sunshine
And keep on stitching.